Welcome back to the T-Side Podcast. I am your host, Tawnya D. I'm not going to keep you long today. I just wanted to hop on here real quick and give an update since I have not released an episode in quite a while. I honestly don't remember when it was, but I know it was sometime early January, probably. It was part of my collaboration with the Hood Talks podcast, where we talked about the basics of therapy. If you haven't listened to it, you should definitely check it out. There's a link in the description of this episode for you to check out the entire interview where I break down dealing with emotions. I don't have anything planned out, but I do want to say Happy Black History Month and Happy Heart Health Month. But for me, every day is Black History. I am Black History. But to tie the two things together, I will say make sure you're taking care of your heart health, because heart disease is the number one killer of women, and cardiovascular disease kills nearly 50,000 African American women every year. And cardiovascular disease covers heart attacks, strokes, high blood pressure, coronary artery disease related to cholesterol, and a few other things. So get checked out, know your numbers, exercise, and all of that good stuff. Which brings me to what's been going on with me. Well, I'll just say I just haven't been in a good place mentally, honestly. Because when you're trying to better yourself, it can be very uncomfortable. And on top of that, I hurt my shoulder doing nothing. And now I'm in physical therapy twice a week. So how's that for? Does that make me old? Moment. I tell you. I can't win for losing. I tell you. That's how I feel most days. Aside from the same old issues with being understaffed at work, I've also been dealing with some family issues going on, and that's taking a toll on me. And I'm on the planning committee for my 30-year class reunion, which honestly brings a whole new perspective to life. Because a couple of weeks ago, we were talking about how we haven't had that many people from our class actually pass away in the past 30 years. We can still count on one hand, and that's a blessing. And we also realized that this is probably the last time that we will all probably be together because of our age. People are really going to start dying off and having a lot more health issues. And then out of nowhere, a girl that I've known since elementary school suddenly died. And we lived in the same neighborhood and actually found out that we were cousins by marriage. So I've been knowing her and hanging out with her since like 5th grade. And I didn't see her all the time, but I would see her on social media and we would chat that way. And she would always post all these memes and pictures, and it's always the things that I want to say, but I don't. So we would just have a good laugh and conversation that way. But I think the last time I actually saw her was 2018. But we still don't really know what happened to her. She had logged on to work that night, then she logged off, and then she was gone. I have no idea what happened. And she was about to have her 50th birthday. So it's crazy. It's just been messing with my mind. That's why I always tell people to make amends now. Live your life with no regrets. And be kind to other people, because you never know when your time is up. I'm telling you, that's something I learned the hard way. You don't want to have to live with feeling like, oh, I wish I would have. Just don't do it. People can go at the drop of a hat, especially over these past 2 years. It's crazy. But on the podcast front, I'm really just trying to figure out what direction I want to go with this thing. But I think Mercury retrograde was messing with me, because somehow Instagram stopped working for me I couldn't post anything. I couldn't share posts or even update my profile picture. It was crazy. But it was only on the podcast page. It worked fine on my regular Instagram account. But since my Instagram is connected to Facebook, my posts weren't going to Facebook either. And most of my content is on Instagram and Facebook. So it was really, honestly, just a clear sign that you need to stop and take a break. And so I decided I'd just work on a new season and come back when I get caught up and really get ahead of the game this time instead of feeling like I have to rush and get everything done every week. So I've actually been working behind the scenes. So when I come back with season 4, hopefully you'll be able to see a difference in what I put out, how often, and all of that stuff. But realistically, at this point, it will probably be in April. Why so long, you ask? Well, that's because I'm an NE for lifer. And if you've listened to any of my episodes, you would know that. In fact, I have a whole episode talking about New Edition. So go back and check that one out. And they're actually on tour right now, the Culture Tour with Charlie Wilson and Jodeci. I will be going to 2 shows in March. So as not to stress myself out, I will not rush and try to get things done with the podcast. I'm going to go and enjoy my shows and pray. If you all are praying people, pray for me, because I really feel like I'm risking my life going out of town to a concert in the middle of COVID. But I'm caught up on my vitamins and all that other stuff. But I'm excited because I've got some friends coming in from different cities to come to the show here in St. Louis. So I'm excited. Oh, and also they're about to start remodeling my bathroom. Again, my life is never dull and boring. It's always something going on. I just have to fit myself and my mental in between everything else. But real quick, before I get out of here, I want to tell you what I've been watching. I've watched Encanto and have been obsessed with it ever since. It was just so good. And it's out now on Disney Plus. If you have not seen it, I would definitely recommend watching it. I related to it on a personal level, but also as a therapist, it spoke to me. Which is the same for the other show I've been watching, which is Euphoria on HBO Max. But I'm sure you don't watch that. That show's a little extra. It's so over the top, but I love it. But I just really love Zendaya. I've got a girl crush on Zendaya. She is just amazing. Now, if you have Amazon Prime, they have a whole series of documentaries that are only available for Black History Month that you might want to check out. I've watched the one on the Video Music Box and the one on Rick James. And next up is the one called Hitsville, USA about Motown. They also have one on Dick Gregory. That was really good. I'd seen that one before, but it had been a while, but it was really good too. And there's one also about the Wu-Tang Clan and one about street photographer Ricky Powell. I don't know him, but I'm definitely interested to watch that and see what that one's all about as well. And they have other documentaries and recommended movies selected for Black History Month. So that's my quick update. And until next time, listen to the episodes of the podcast that you haven't heard yet. If you're all caught up, go ahead and share your favorite episode with someone. Be on the lookout for content on Facebook and my Instagram and Twitter. The handle for that is @T_side podcast. You can always send me an email or send me a direct message if there's something you would like for me to include in the next season as I'm working on things you would like to see, things you don't want. I would love to hear all of your feedback. So make sure you take care of yourselves, and I'll be back with new episodes soon.